Hey everyone, my name is Gilberto and we're back again for Season 2, Week 1 of the PGBL, the Pokemon Global Battle League, a Wi-Fi battle league that I helped to create. And just as last time, we are opening up against William, aka Hannons, of course. Links will be down below. But look, also, I'm gonna say before we even get into anything that this battle didn't end up going the best. And I only bring it up because our teams matched up against each other really well, and I was not entirely prepared for a game filled with such judgment calls. I never had to put together a team this quickly, but I did it this week. Obviously, no excuses. William still played the hell out of this game. But here, I just want to get into it. And here, you're gonna see he leads off with the Noivern. Pretty much the last thing I would have expected. And I have my Garchomp out here. I kind of just wanted to scare out whatever would be here. I thought if anything, it would kind of draw out the Noivern or draw out the Electros play, expecting just an Earthquake, but him leading with the Noivern really kind of messed up my plans. Now, I absolutely 100% thought that he was going to switch out, that he was going to U-turn. I felt like a switch into Fortress would be way too obvious, a switch into Celesteela would be way too obvious. I thought there would be at least somewhat of a chance that he would just go straight up for the Flamethrower, expecting a Fortress or Celesteela, or I was really thinking the U-turn, so I thought, no, I'm going to stand my ground, I'm going to stay in and just go for a Dragon Claw, try to get whatever comes in. And I was honestly also thinking that I could take a Draco Meteor. This Garchomp's built a little bit bulkier, but you guys will see he just goes straight up for the Draco Meteor, and this is where he reveals the Life Orb as well. So there was no chance that I was taking that. I should have made the safe play. I completely messed that up. I 100% should have gone for the safer play, but here I just go out into Ludicolo. My idea was to just scare it out, and especially now that it's weekend, I thought he would think that I would just go for an Ice Beam because Ludicolo's bulky enough to take a hit. But here I try to make a play, go for a Rain Dance. And here's where I think he starts just expecting me to throw Scalds out there. Definitely, because you're going to see him switch into the Volcanion, trying to catch me on the Water Absorb play, but I kind of expected that. I go for the neutral Giga Drain, which does almost exactly a quarter. So I believe that reveals him to be max HP, and then I assume max special attack, but I just go for another one. He goes for a Steam Eruption, which is boosted by Stab and Rain, but is also quad resisted by Ludicolo. But he does get the burn, which does kind of suck. I was really concerned at this point in the game, but I don't think it ended up mattering too much. Out comes the Venusaur. Should have seen that coming. I 100% should have made a play. I played a bit too conservatively here, but that Volcanion kind of threw me for a loop. Him just going for Steam Eruption, I thought maybe he just wanted to like stay in and try to hit me with stuff. But that's when I switch out and go for the Celesteela, as he goes for the Mega Evolution here. And here's where anything can happen. I was trying to figure out whether this would be Hidden Power Electric or Hidden Power Fire. I thought Electric might be a little bit better because of the whole rain situation, but he went with Fire. I was pretty confident even from this first attack that it would be HP Fire because of how little it did. And he goes for another one, and I kind of expected that, so I went out into the Politoed here. He goes for an HP Fire into my Politoed. Here's where I fully expected him to switch out. I kind of make a little bit of a play. I go for the Toxic here, and I got the Toxic on the Azumarill. So here I really don't know what to expect, but I figure my Politoed can 1v1. I'm just gonna try to, well, I switch out, never mind. So I go out into the Fortress just to see what in the world he tries to do. He goes for the Belly Drum, which scared the heck out of me, because you're gonna see the Citrus Berry pop in just a second. But I'm really genuinely scared about this whole Citrus Berry situation. And he just goes for the Aqua Jet. I have Sturdy, so I was gonna just Volt Switch out. I knew the Toxic was gonna rack up a little bit, and that was a huge relief. Without that Politoed Toxic on the switch, would not have been able to do anything. I just go into the Kyurem on the Volt Switch, but I fully intended just to switch straight back into Ferrothorn. Fortress. I didn't know if he was going to go for the play rough, or if he knew that I was trying to bait him into maybe going into Celesteela. He clearly expected me to bait him into Celesteela. He goes for the Aqua Jet, and that's a double down. I go into Kyurem, he goes into Noivern, and he is clearly at this point concerned, and he told me after the match that he was concerned about my Kyurem being Scarf, so here's the switch out into Volcanion. But then I am also concerned. I switch out directly into the Celesteela because now especially in the rain, there's not really that much of a threat there in that matchup. But now I could go straight out because a Steam Eruption in rain is going to hurt a lot. I go back into the Kyurem, and here's where he completely threw me off. I see the Z move. I thought it was going to be Hydro Vortex, but then you see that Z dance, and I could tell right away that it was all out pummeling, and I knew it was going to take me out. It is a little bit of a bulkier Kyurem, but I honestly didn't even have to run Cal because I kind of knew that this was going to take me out. I should have expected Z Focus Blast, but I got caught completely off guard. I should have made a better switch there. I should have done something. But I just go into Ludicolo here. The Ludicolo could wear down the Volcanion, but instead it goes out to the Venusaur. And again, I should have made a play. I should have expected something to happen, but he goes back out into Electrons as I try to set up a Rain Dance. I think he expected me to switch probably into Celesteela. Yeah, because Celesteela would have been the play because it definitely just walls the Venusaur for days. But he goes into Electros on my Rain Dance, and I just start trying to gauge how much Giga Drain's going to do, and it's not doing nearly enough. Electros is way too good of a Pokemon. It takes these hits way too well. So it just kind of wears down my Ludicolo a bit with that Volt Switch, with its attacks, and I try to do some with Scald, but even the Scald is not doing enough, even in rain. This Electros, I have to imagine, is built pretty bulky, particularly, especially defensively, because I 100% expected my attacks to be doing more, but the Noivern just goes and U-turns on my Celesteela in the rain, bringing back in the Venusaur, which I didn't really expect, but here's where I go for the Air Slash. I mean, I guess I got decently lucky there, because I was going to go for Air Slash regardless. I didn't expect the Venusaur to come in, but it does, and I think William might have forgotten that Synthesis doesn't heal up as much in rain, but you can see it doesn't heal nearly as much as it would normally in rain as I go for another one. And here's where I'm kind of upset with myself. I maybe should have built my Celesteela to speed creep a Mega Venusaur, but I just didn't, and I feel kind of silly for that now. And I think here, after the rain ends, he expects me to switch out, but it doesn't really make sense for the situation. He goes for a Giga Drain, which I take like it's nothing, and I just take it out with an Air Slash. So I don't really know what happened there. I don't really know what he was expecting. Maybe he expects me to go back into the Politoed just to set up the rain again. Well, I guess, yeah, because I did that last time, and he went for the HP Fire into it. So I don't know, it's possible, but it just didn't make sense for the situation. And here's another situation where I was super upset with myself for not really taking my time with the team building, because I would have 100% built the Celesteela to get the special defense beast boost, but just the way the EVs worked out, I ended up getting the special attack beast boost. And I mean, it's not like it affected the outcome or anything, but I am just a bit disappointed in myself for that, because special defense beast boost would have helped me out a little bit. But either way, that's kind of what I wanted for this match, regardless of how it affected the outcome. That was definitely a bit of a wake-up call in that moment, like, hey, I need to, like, really pay attention next time for how I build my Celesteela and what kind of beast boost I'll be getting in those moments. We burned through a few turns. At this point, I'm kind of trying to claw my way back. I do call another switch, and I get a poison off on this, a toxic off on this Volcanion. That's going to wear it down over time. I'm super excited about that, but now we're just trying to 1v1 each other, I guess. And I think we double down, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because I think he has one more turn. He goes for a Steam Eruption as the Toxic takes him out, so that's another double down. I think that's the second one of the match. My son did so well. I love Volcanion to death. I'm still super upset that William stole it from me, but here we go. My last mon out here is Celesteela. I know already from earlier that a Volt Switch does just about 50%, and I get myself over the 50% mark with the Giga Drain, Volt Switch, and I live the Volt Switch on just a few points. Out comes the Noivern, and that's just going to clean up. I fought this battle as hard as I could, but again, my prep wasn't where it normally is. I definitely kind of rushed through the whole prep situation a bit too much. I'm very disappointed in that, but I think with the team that I brought, I did the best that I could with it. Certainly this is a match where I would have really loved to have Mega Sceptile. I will have it from now on. I really did give it my best, given all the circumstances, but of course, no excuses. He played really well. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. We will have more Pokemon Global Battle League battles coming really soon, and I will be once again, out.